But other than that, the biggest thing that happened to me recently is this Mana Moana concert that I went to last night, and I just can't get it out of my mind. Mana Moana was the signature choir from Wellington and the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra performing at the 12,000 seat arena that is the Spark Arena. I think it's the largest indoor event center in New Zealand, and that place was packed out and the music was pumping. All the songs of the islands played and set to orchestral music, and it was just an absolute magical vibe last night. I caught myself leaking at the eyes. My heart was racing. The hairs on the back of my neck were standing up. The orchestra was fantastic, and one of the things that made me excited the most was seeing a pake down by where the percussionists were.
Ooh.
Yeah, they had their drum kits, their timpanis, their cymbals, all these bongos and congos and whatnot. And then there was if I'm not mistaken, because I couldn't see very well from where I was sitting, but it looked like they had a two pake set up, and that dude was going hard out on that. Seeing the full orchestra playing all the songs of our childhood, all the Samoan music, the Tongan music, the Niue and Tokelau songs. Our old people, our mamas and papas were vibing to it, dancing in the aisles, seeing men taking their shirts off and showing their tattoos, just super proud. And I found myself cheering even harder for the songs that were in my own, for the Tongan songs, for the Vare songs, the Cook Island songs and the Tokelau songs. It was just so beautiful. The choir itself was awesome. They were spot on. The arrangements, the harmonies, a lot of unexpected ebbs and flows to what they were singing. And they just, every time they sung, they took me where they wanted to take me. The lighting of the place was fantastic. They changed the lights up for each song, and it helped to induce the mood of the music, and it felt like I was a part of a movie, listening to the swells of the orchestra taking me up and bringing me down. And then at one point, the music was so beautiful that people started, instead of flicking your lighters like you used to do back in the day, and no one has lighters these days because no one smokes, but everyone turned their lights on their phone on and was just waving it around to the music. And I looked around. My missus was like, look, because I was dead eyes on the stage. And she says, look. And I turned around, and we were right up by the stage, and you could see just the whole place was lit up with people's cell phone lights just swaying, cheering, screaming. Could see the Samoan flags, the Tongan flags, people running up and down the aisle. It was just magnificent. So our Mana Moana team out there, if you played in that orchestra, if you sung in that choir, if you helped to put up the stage, set up the seats, sell the food, usher the people in and out, you guys done a fantastic job. The only stink thing is that this wasn't a multi-night concert. I understand the logistics of trying to make something like this happen even once, that the thought of trying to put it on 2 nights in a row was something completely out of this world, but we've done it now. Island music set to an orchestra, a world first, they were calling it, and it's now being done.
Wow.
And it was, my goodness, brava to everybody involved. That was fantastic. And I still get chills thinking about it. I still watch the videos that I recorded. They also released their Wellington concert that they performed a week ago live. They recorded it and released it on Spotify. And I came home that night after watching my videos back. I put my earphones in, set it on repeat, fell asleep to it, woke up to it. One of my earpieces had come out, shoved it back in my ear, went back to sleep. It was just so moving, so touching. All these songs that I'd heard before, these songs that I've sung many times, the songs that I grew up with, and now they're being set to an orchestra, and it just completely changed the dynamic of the song and the way they played the music. Like there was a song called Manu Levaveao, talks about the early bird, or the bird of the early morning, and they start with a big flourish, and everyone was cheering for it, and then the music came all the way down into a slow kind of, what do they call it? And the music was just so soft, and then the song started as if it was the early morning. and they sung very soft and very quietly, the bird of the early morning, tausani fungala au, talking about it smelling and tasting the flowers. And I know, some people might experience it a different way than me, but I was able to read through the lyrics and the translation and feel with them, man. Even just talking about it, I haven't talked about it this much, so I think people were asking me about it, and I knew I was saving it because I wanted what I said to be recorded, because if you were a part of it, my goodness, can I please, I want to say buy you a cup of coffee, but the way I'm feeling right now is buy you a ticket to somewhere in the world so we can take this concert where it needs to go, because that was fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Nice. That sounds, a couple words come to mind after hearing that. And thank you for sharing that, because you told me it was good, and obviously you were saving it. And the way you described it took me on a journey.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, I didn't make the show, but as you know, news feeds always pump out what's popping.
Yeah.
And that's all I saw.
So many people went, hey?
100%, yeah. It was so cool. But like what came through, I guess the comfort of my phone was heaps of pride from all the various islands, and what you're saying, how magical it was.
Yeah.
It's almost like watching a movie, or they took you on a journey. You're saying that's super cool.
If you're watching it on a phone, you'd be watching a movie, but we were in the movie, and the movie was about the beauty of the language and the culture and the coming together of all the Pacific Islands. I mean, I was bawling my eyes out to one of the Tongan songs, and watching the Tongan mamas and papas in front of me, like just loving their songs presented and performed this way, and my heart just exploded for them. And they played one of the Te Waka songs, Te Hiva. And it was the first time, as soon as the song started pumping, everyone was cheering and clapping. And then one of the old ladies, one of the mamas, went on the middle of the floor in front of the 12,000 people and just started breaking the leg, letting it loose, dancing to her heart's content. And no one stopped her. Everyone cheered. People started joining. It was just a big fat party. So good.
I love that.
It finished too soon, but then there's that classic adage that always leave them wanting more, rather than running out of songs to sing and people kind of getting bored and wondering what the time is.
Yeah.
But by the time it finished, no one wanted to leave, and the audience sung Ua Wha'awhitai, that song Ua Wha'awhitai, Ua Wha'awhitai, and it just echoed across the whole arena. Everyone stood up, everyone was singing it, and the conductor and the choir conductor director was just like holding her chest. I can't believe this is happening.
I just got goosebumps.
It was so good. But yeah, I mean, just a casual Friday night.
Standard for you?
Yeah, me and the missus, and so I don't know if I want to put this on the camera, but I wasn't gonna go.
Oh, really?
And so shout out to my boy who was in Wellington when they performed this concert for the first time. And he said he went along and he loved it and he cried, and he harked back to when he was singing in choirs with me, and it took him on the journey. And when he finished, he just thought, my dad has got to see this.
Wow.
And then he rung me up and he goes, what are you doing on Friday? And I go, just work. He goes, after that, nothing. He goes, good, because I bought you some tickets for this concert. I said, you're gonna buy it because you didn't know what I was doing? He goes, nah. I got excited and I bought it, and then I thought, oh shit, I don't know what you're doing, so I rang you. But yeah, fortunately for me, that I wasn't doing anything. And so I went and had the time of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to monopolize the conversation with Mana Moana, but this thing just happened to me, and it's still, it's my body is still awash with the magic that was Mana Moana. I think that was a perfect thing to say to finish that one off.
Yep.
My body is still awash with the magic that is Mana Moana.